The British Royal Guard consists of foot and mounted regiments responsible for protecting the royal family and their residences. Unfortunately, many misunderstandings arise between the military personnel and tourists. These are not just guards in elegant uniforms with weapons, they are soldiers who have participated in armed conflicts and possess excellent combat training and bravery. A horse can stand still for an hour in the household cavalry, but the girls still manage to provoke the animal. If I were in his place, I wouldn't point a finger at a guardsman who may have taken part in military operations and conflicts.
You are handsome!
It's easier to trigger a reaction from the horse than from the soldier, but I think the girl just wanted a photo. Palace guards not only protect the buildings, but also receive motorcades of presidents, prime ministers, and other dignitaries. A clear example of why it's best to keep a safe distance from the cavalry guards to avoid injury. Despite the strict rules and protocols, this guardsman doesn't mind letting a child pet the horse. Guardsmen are not supposed to smile by protocol, but sometimes there are exceptions. Wearing a warm hat and uniform in summer is tough, but a fellow soldier comes to the rescue. It's best not to stand in a guard's way. Perhaps this little boy will be a guardsman one day. Even the horse nods in approval. Notice the unique trait. The animal stands like a statue and only shows interest by turning its head. This isn't just play or child's amusement, it's patriotism and love for the country. Discipline and other important qualities are instilled from a young age. Countless annoying tourists approach during a shift, and even the horses dislike it. A rare moment, a guardsman engaged in conversation with a civilian, which is usually not allowed. Did you know that even how guards fall is dictated by protocol? A soldier doesn't need to ask permission to pass. The guardsman is clearly displeased. He's on duty, not posing for photos. Sometimes this is the only way to drive off disrespectful tourists. It's unethical of the soldiers, but on the other hand, they're not allowed to break protocol during a changing of the guard. Yes, even during the Queen's escort, someone might sneak in a selfie. Mocking or making faces at guards is a bad idea. It can get you in trouble with the police. The soldier's self-control is remarkable. It takes serious discipline and strength of character to remain unfazed by such rude behavior. The man stands out not only for his eccentric fur coat, but also for his aggressive behavior toward the horse. I don't think he would have stopped if the girl hadn't run out of the way. A photo with retired military personnel becomes a lasting memory. Among these veterans could be soldiers with great service records.
What a twist! Haven't you expected to see this either, have you?
How can anyone resist the charm of these two girls? Wearing such heavy gear in summer is a feat in itself. Guardsmen must have strong necks. The bearskin hat can weigh up to 4 kilograms. These elderly decorated veterans behave appropriately, unlike some pushy tourists. For the sake of an epic photo, some parents neglect their children's safety. During the changing of the guard, guardsmen usually ignore passers-by. That's quite the moonwalk, and the polished thick-soled shoes only highlight the moves. For some reason, most people take photos, but rarely does anyone offer a treat to the horse. The daytime guard change can sometimes last up to 45 minutes. Seems like even the horses are trained to shoo away annoying tourists. In most cases, tourists bring small punishment on themselves. Sometimes even guards from the Royal Orchestra don't mind taking photos, a sign of their humanity. You can distinguish the regiments of the guards not just by headgear or uniform, but even by the buttons. Just like this guardsman, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, once served in the cavalry. It's quite odd for a man to hug a soldier around the waist, a provocateur clearly. The changing of the guard is an ancient tradition with centuries of history, not a modern gimmick. I wonder how many times during his shift he has to shout at disrespectful tourists.
Step back, Queen's Life Guard! Cuff the ring!
Even a very real bayoneted rifle doesn't scare off a TikToker.
To be honest, I'm speechless after witnessing it. What about you?
A kind woman isn't an exception in the mounted patrol. Women have excellent skills in detaining offenders. The guardsman's bearskin hat is not only heavy, but also extremely hot. She's clearly asking for a reaction from the guard. Well, if you want to be yelled at and stomped at, you'll get it. Looks like the guardsman might have been a little envious of the horse. Despite being herbivores, horses can bite painfully and cause a torn wound or bruise. The average annual salary of a guardsman is about $30,000. In this case, the horse couldn't stay still due to the attention from passers-by. Guards usually don't yell at people, but they do raise their voices when a warning is necessary. The booths are used as part of the ceremonial tradition and to provide shelter from sun or rain, not for taking selfies. Royal Guard horses are trained in skills like staying calm in noisy environments and being comfortable in crowds.
There are things that are absolutely impossible to believe, and how could this even happen?
Perhaps this is the dream of the boy in the wheelchair. Perfectly timed, coordinated, and precise movements from one of the Royal Guard regiments. It was the girl who put herself in danger. She shouldn't have stood in the soldier's path. When drunk, not even a Royal Guard seems like an obstacle, but they still uphold order. The chin strap on the helmet isn't random. It prevents neck injury if the helmet is struck. A bodybuilder might actually be less physically prepared than a guardsman. The artist chose a great angle and setting for their work. Kicking a woman aside isn't arrogance, it's just a precautionary measure. The bond between a royal guardsman and his horse is built on professional interaction and deep trust. The woman got off with just a scare. The consequences could have been much worse. This horse was selected for the guard through a rigorous process that considered its temperament and health. After such a calm reaction from the horse to being petted, I wanted to go pet it too. Unpleasant situation. Let's hope the hand is okay. There may be no understanding between the man and the soldier, but the man interacts great with the horse. It happens. The horse mistook the soldier for a pushy tourist. Something clearly upset the soldier, though in my opinion, there was no violation.
Get off the road!
A child giving flowers to the queen shows manners and upbringing no worse than the stern military men. That's real patriotism, and it's hard to say who has more of it, the guard or the child. The tall, shiny leather boots not only protect the legs, but also visually add height and make the guards look more imposing.
And we're moving on at the speed of light. All the most interesting things are still ahead.
The animal has no bad intentions, that's just how it interacts with people. Guards may be brave and highly trained, but even they like to joke around sometimes. Definitely a well-trained horse for moments like these. Moments like this prove animals are capable of empathy.
Thank you, thank you.
Based on the sign, it's the guard's father, although it might just be a silly joke. That's a fine saber or sword, often used as ceremonial weaponry. Petting a horse is one thing, grabbing the reins is quite another. The soldier's calmness is impressive. Agitating an animal is the easiest thing to do. Horses are often able to sense people's moods and attitudes, and they frequently respond to affection and attention. Every day, thousands of tourists want a photo with the household cavalry of the Royal Guard. The horse clearly didn't like the tourist and let her know it wasn't up for a photo. During the changing of the guard, the sword is carried vertically. Marching in the summer heat in a heavy hat and uniform isn't easy, but duty is duty. Say what you will, but every Royal Regiment's uniform is unique and looks stunning. Not all horses are as calm and obedient as those in the Royal Guard. Sometimes, conflicts between tourists and soldiers require police intervention. Guards carry rifles at posts where a higher level of readiness is needed, like palace gates or during ceremonies. Sometimes you just need your comrades' help. Thankfully, there's teamwork. British Royal Guards are trained not only in marching and marksmanship, but also in navigation, survival tactics, and driving. Looks like the grandma mistook the soldier for her grandson. A guard fighting a civilian without valid reason is a breach of duty and can result in disciplinary action, though clearly there's a provocateur here. Just another woman who asked for a few sharp words.
Get off the rank!
Guards are given water not out of indulgence, but for health and safety to prevent dehydration and heat stroke. I don't understand what's funny to that lady. A hand in a horse's mouth is far from safe. It would be great if everyone who took a photo gave a little treat. The horse bite shouldn't be taken personally. It's a sign of stress or discomfort. The long blue-gray coat is for colder seasons. Red tunics are mainly worn in spring and summer.
And how do you like such a twist? To be honest, I can't do without your comments here.
Incredibly, this toddler isn't afraid of a horse many times bigger than him. Trying to grab the bridle? That's just madness. You really shouldn't get that close. Passers-by need to understand, this is first and foremost a combat soldier. Mocking the guard is not appropriate. Pointing the weapon vertically and gently moving the woman aside was the right move. These are quite polite tourists. They're taking selfies without taunting anyone. After that guard's gesture, she probably won't act that way again. Guards aren't taught to fall off horses on purpose, but they are trained to minimize injury in such cases. A former guardsman reminisces while taking a photo at the place where he once served. Controlling a horse in this context is truly an art. Soldiers are not supposed to talk to the public, but it seems he made an exception for a pretty girl. The changing of the guard in the UK is a carefully choreographed ceremony, complete with formal formations. And it's a good thing if one soldier mirrors a child's friendly gesture. Can't you just take a photo without reaching out your hands?
Step back with wings like God! You have touched the ring!
You can never predict an animal's behavior, and this case is no exception. Just watching videos of guards can be enough to scare someone, no shouting needed. Help from a loyal comrade. Active duty soldiers deeply understand veterans and are always ready to support them. Veterans are not only a living link to the past, but also a symbol of courage and selflessness. In situations like this, you understand why the correct way to secure a 4-kilogram bearskin hat is with a chin strap, and how easily it can be removed without risking a neck or head injury. A guard has the right not only to verbally warn a violator to stop and stay away from a secured area, but also to use force and even detain the person until the police arrive. Indian tourists also love taking photos.
Get up the ring!
And rightly so. Each royal regiment has its own headgear, uniform, and equipment depending on the ceremony.
What an incredible footage! We always strive to choose the best content for you.
An unpleasant moment for the girl's toes. True, it wasn't the full weight of the horse, but still dangerous. Unexpected noise, sharp smells, or sudden change in surroundings can cause a horse to panic and bolt. Falling isn't a reason to be upset, it can happen to anyone. For onlookers, it's a mini performance. Great preemptive action by the police officer. A man running toward the royal guard could have had ill intent.